Welcome, I'm Nina Gryphon, and this is the Astrology and Magic channel. Today we'll talk about the astrology of week 4 of November 2025, covering November 23rd through the 30th. First off, I'd like to say thanks to all of my patrons. I appreciate all of your support. If you would like to become a patron, you can go to patreon.com/NinaGryphon, where at the highest tier you can get access to my monthly Magically Elections ebook, which teaches you how and when to make astrological talismans. You will also get access to these forecasts early. November 24th, Venus will conjoin Mercury retrograde at 22 Scorpio. This is the preparatory phase for the third and last water grand trine of this fall. The trine will be triggered by Venus and Mercury, and their conjunction makes it very clear that we are entering their realm. Mercury is the god of meaning, and he is the psychopomp, the guide of souls into the underworld, because he travels easily between the upper world of the gods, our mundane world of humans, and the deepest Hades. He is retrograde and in Scorpio now, so traveling through the underworld, having returned there once more after peeking into Sagittarius, the world of humans and animals. Mercury conjoining Venus in the underworld creates profound erotic connection. Together they make the hermaphrodite, the single being combining Hermes and Aphrodite. At its deepest level, this conjunction is about two separate beings or forces becoming one. It may be outside of the realm of words and indeed perhaps cannot be described verbally. But it is completely real, its strength originating in their underworld, feeding the roots of plants that will eventually grow into the realm of people and up into the world of the gods. This is a highly fertile and auspicious conjunction that seeds a new beginning that will endure for a very long time, as it is implanted into the water grand trine involving the slowest visible planets, Jupiter and Saturn. This is the cosmic equivalent of chiseling an oath into stone. Whatever promise or statement is made now is for the ages. November 26th, Venus at 24 Scorpio will trine Jupiter in Cancer and Saturn in Pisces. This is the beginning of Act 3 of the 3-act play marked by a water grand trine this fall. A cycle centered on deep emotional realizations, nonverbal communication, and mystical insights. To recap quickly, Act 1 was the water grand trine between Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Because the trine was triggered by Mars and Mercury, the cycle began with disruption, separation, and conflict, but also the drive to win and conquer. The second grand trine, representing Act 2 that completed last week, was triggered by the Sun and Mercury. The Sun brings enlightenment and truth, so the separation during the Mars grand trine is revealed to be illusory, and we see the oneness where there had appeared to be polarization. Now Act 3 begins with the water grand trine triggered by Venus, and then in early December by Mercury. Venus, like Mars, brings duality, but now there is no polarization, only harmony. The powerful sense of identification, we are not two but one, symbolized by the Sun, now resolves into duality again, but this time into an atmosphere of love, unity, and harmony. It's a beautiful note on which the cycle of grand trines will eventually end. November 27th, Saturn will turn direct at 25 Pisces. Saturn has been retrograde for about 4 months, and he now stations direct in the middle of the final water grand trine. If we think of the Venus-Mercury activation as the harmonious outcome of a journey that began with conflict, followed by awareness or realization of unity, Saturn stationing direct is the cosmic ascent and sign that after a period of what seemed like endless obstacles, we are now aligned with the greater cycles and have received the green light to proceed. Venus and Mercury line up with Jupiter and Saturn, the most powerful planet of all, gives the nod. The sacred marriage, the Hieros Gamos of Mercury and Venus, can be consummated and entered in the Book of Fate. November 29th, Mercury turns direct at 20 Scorpio. Mercury stationing direct in this degree essentially means that over the past few days and into early December, approximately December 12th, Mercury will remain in orb of Jupiter and Saturn, continuously activating the water grand trine for about 2 weeks. Venus will have moved on, but Mercury continues to hold the aspect for a long time, ensuring that the portal to the watery depths of mystical communication remains open for longer than usual. The fact that Mercury is now direct suggests that understanding, communication, and understanding of each other proceeds as a direct result of Mercury's fertilizing conjunction with Venus. Now that the union has happened, Mercury can go ahead and bring his deep realization out of the underworld into the realm of manifestation. The tree seed is now growing toward the light from the deepest depths of the soul or the unconscious. November 29th, Venus at 29 Scorpio opposes Uranus in Taurus, and November 30th, she will trine Neptune in Pisces. Venus now meets the slow planets, another reminder that whatever was planted in this water grand trine is written into the much larger cycles affecting individuals and the world for a very long time. This connection between the faster planets and the outer planet configuration is happening very frequently now, but it is significant that Venus is making the connection as she travels through the grand trine, suggesting that this grand trine locks into the very long term as well. November 30th, Venus enters Sagittarius. Venus now enters the realm of the humans and the animals, symbolized by the centaur, and out of the subterranean, silent, watery realm. She is now very vocal, brassy, and adventurous in the service of seeking noble truth. This is Venus as the happy warrior, dangerous, unafraid, wildly beautiful, but ultimately working in the service of higher goals. She is very fast now as she speeds toward her eventual conjunction with the Sun in Capricorn, as well as Mercury and Mars, all of which happen in January. There is this sense in December that we are now building towards something quite significant in the new year, as Venus speeds toward union with the other 3 planets. She will square Saturn and Neptune and sextile Pluto while in Sagittarius, but the real fireworks are in the process of building up through December. Thanks for watching. I'm Nina Gryphon, and this is the Astrology and Magic channel.